6 people were lured to a seemingly harmless escape room run by a mysterious institution called Minos. The only survivors, Zoe and Ben, were able to escape and kill the game master before deciding to completely expose Minos after finding that their headquarters are in Manhattan. One night in 2003, Claire wants to talk to his father to talk about her day, but her mother Sonia tells her that he's busy working. Claire climbs to her room and Sonia goes to his husband Henry, who is a designer of the deadly escape rooms, to tell him that she's divorcing him and taking their daughter with her. Henry asks for a chance to talk it through, and she agrees. Sonia goes for a swim. Claire is in her room, organizing seemingly random objects in a suitcase. Sonia takes a sauna, then suddenly the door locks itself, trapping her in. Temperature starts to rise up and a clue appears on the glass door. She figures it out, but the temperature gets to a deadly level before she could escape. Back to the present day, the Minos organization is testing out the probability of survival of an airplane crash. Zoe and Ben are in an airport. Ben is trying to convince Zoe not to proceed with the plan of going after Minos and exposing them, but Zoe refuses and tells him she wants Minos to stop from being able to kill people again with their escape rooms. Ensler comes out of a secured room and is secretly holding a flash drive. Henry then enters the room. Claire is being locked up in this room to design the escape rooms. Zoe backs out of the flight as she's still getting haunted by a plane accident that she and her mother was in, so they decided to just drive to Manhattan. They arrive at a hotel. Later that night, Ben has a nightmare about their hotel room becoming an escape room and trapping them there to their deaths. The next day, the two make it to an empty alley in Manhattan. A junkie steals Zoe's mother's compass necklace, prompting her and Ben to chase the man into the subway station, and they get trapped in a train. Soon, the two find that the train car that they're on, along with 4 other strangers, uncouples from the rest. Their train car is isolated in a tunnel and they soon realize that they're in a Minos game again. Rachel, Brianna, Nate and Theo, like Ben and Zoe, are all survivors from past Minos games, making this a tournament of champions. The metal in the train car has become highly electrified and they must figure out a riddle to get out. Based on the riddle inside, they discover that they must decode a message in order to get out. With each letter they find, they receive a token that helps them to escape. The electrocution gets worse over time. Theo is electrocuted to death when he accidentally touches and gets stuck to a metal bar. Zoe soon figures out that the message is welcome back, and successfully completes the puzzle, opening up a hatch for them to escape. They end up in an elevator where they introduce themselves and talk about their previous games. The elevator suddenly descends to an underground bank where random tiles on the floor are rigged to set off lasers. They only have 10 minutes before the door to exit closes. As they're trying to solve various riddles, Nate puts himself in danger to help the group by figuring out the safe tiles on his own. He continues as the others try to stop him. He eventually steps on a rigged one, triggering the lasers, and he falls unconscious. They lift him up from the floor and carry on finding clues. They unlock 2 safety deposit boxes marked with the name Sonia that contain clues and successfully figure out the right pattern on the floor to safety. They're all able to exit the room just seconds before the lasers take over the whole room. They eventually get in a beach simulation where they discover a camera that leads to their next clue. Soon, the sand begins to swallow everything around them. Rachel gets sucked under the sand. Nate tries to grab a life raft and rope to get into the sand and rescue her. He is able to pull Rachel out of the sand, but the rope breaks, pulling Nate to his death as he is dragged under the sand. A mannequin with seashells on her eyes and another mannequin that looks like a little girl are among the other items in the area that could be clues to their escape. They discover a way into the next room through a refrigerator in the crab shack nearby, but Zoe finds another entrance through a hole in the lighthouse. Brianna is unsure which option to go, picks the one through the fridge, while Rachel and Ben follow Zoe. Ben doesn't make it on time and falls into the sand. Zoe is devastated, but she and Rachel make it through the lighthouse door and get out. Zoe blames herself for Ben's apparent death. Rachel tells her not to feel bad and convinces her that everything is Mino's fault. She also reveals that she can't feel physical pain. They then hear noises that seem to come from outside, leading them through a manhole, thinking it takes them back to downtown Manhattan. However, Brianna emerges and realizes they are still trapped in the game. Rachel finds burns on Brianna's back from this room's challenge, which is acid rain that pours after every end of a timer. The ladies run to safety as they search for clues to their survival. They find a telephone booth with an umbrella inside that provides them with temporary protection until they figure out the next clue. Then the door to a cab opens. Zoe makes it in, but the door closes as Rachel and Brianna try to go in. The telephone booth closes too, leaving them no choice but to accept their fate while Zoe drops down. Meanwhile, in the back room, one of Henry's men notices that Zoe didn't drop to the last room and realizes they've been breached. Zoe instead drops to a room that Claire is in. Zoe notices that the objects nearby are similar to the clues from the game and realizes that Claire designed the deadly rooms. Claire tells her that her father forced her to design the rooms and says she needed to gain Zoe's trust to help her free herself from the glass cage. She also reveals that, like Zoe, she also saved Ben. Henry's men eventually find Ben and put him in the sauna that Sonia died in. Ben tries to find the clues to his escape. Zoe helps Claire in solving a puzzle and they eventually succeed. Ensler comes in with a gunshot wound to his abdomen. Henry comes in with a gun, but Ensler shoots him and they lock him in the glass cage. Ben is struggling in the sauna. Zoe and Claire make it to Henry's office and Claire is able to free Ben. She also tells Zoe that she locked Minos employees in as proof to the authorities that the Minos organization exists. She gives Zoe the keys to a car, drives to where Ben is and finds him safe with the police as they are arresting Minos employees. Claire goes to his father and is revealed that she's actually evil. She confronts her father about how she designed everything, but he gets to have all the credit. When she was younger, she tried to be as evil as possible as a test to see if her parents truly loved her as she is. When her mother Sonia said that she was getting her help by sending her away, Claire murdered her through a game in the sauna. Claire then intentionally enters the wrong passcode to the cage, triggering a mode that kills Henry inside. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a new release. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.